Hey good people, how you doing? I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. I am Berkoshi here, baby VJ in the background. And I'm with the sister. Baby Xander is right here with me. He just finished eating. Today's video, as you can see the title, it says we made it 1 month breastfeeding. Strictly breastfeeding, no bottle, no formula. From birth to now, he has been strictly breastfeeding. So I'm just gonna give you my tips on how we made it he's more than 1 month now, but he made his first month. He'll be 2 months on February, wait. 2 months. He'll be 2 months on March 20th. March 20th. He'll be 2 months. So stay tuned. Tips. I'm going to give you, starting out with 5 tips on being successful breastfeeding. Tip number 1, get comfortable. Be comfortable. Whenever you get ready to breastfeed, you want to make sure you're comfortable. You have enough pillows. You have your drink next to you. You don't want to have to get up and disturb. Once you have that baby latch on, you don't want to be disturbed. You don't want to have to get up and do anything. If you need your feet propped up, anything like that. So my first tip is being comfortable once you start. Because once that baby latch in the beginning, you don't want them to unlatch unless it's time to burp them or they're done. Tip 2 is when it's almost time to breastfeed. When you know it's almost time to breastfeed, most times babies want to eat every 2 hours at first. Especially when your milk haven't let down yet. So my second tip is plan ahead. Take your if you have to take Tylenol, whatever medicine that the doctor give you or prescribe for you to take for pain wise, you want to take that like at least 15 minutes prior to breastfeeding, because every time in the beginning when you're breastfeeding, remind you, I am talking about surviving the first month, really the first 2 weeks. You want to survive those first 2 weeks, because those first 2 weeks are very crucial. Your nipples are very sensitive. They're not used to being tugged and sucked on constantly every 2 hours. So you want to make sure that you're planning ahead. Planning ahead means taking your medicine at least 15 minutes. If you can do it 30 minutes before, 30 minutes would be good. But the reason you're going to take this medicine is because you want to, every time you breastfeed in the beginning, or even still now, your uterus contract. When you breastfeed, it stimulates to the brain for your uterus to contract, and it helps your stomach go down faster. So you will contract, and when I say they are menstrual cramps, they're not as bad as when you're in labor, but they can be intense. If you remember in one of my first videos where I had to stop and breathe for a minute because I was cramping, you will have some cramping, mostly like sharp menstrual cramps in the beginning when you're breastfeeding. So you want to first get comfortable, be comfortable, have your water next to you, your drink, legs propped up too. Be prepared, plan ahead, okay, for your medicine. Number 3 is you want to make sure that you keep your nipples, I'm just going to say lubricated, because they will say let air get to it. You want to let air get to it. And a lot of lactation specialists will tell you use your breast milk for helping with the healing, because they will crack. To prevent cracking this time around, because when I was with after having baby VJ, I didn't have this on hand with me in the very beginning. I didn't have that on me, but I noticed this time I did a lot better with this. And this is lanolin cream. It looks almost like it's backwards, but it's a little, this actually is a tube that I got from the hospital when I had the baby. They gave me an extra tube, so I had 2 tubes, but this is the one I still have, and I have still enough in there. But every time after I breastfed the baby, I put this on, and I kept my nipple, kept this on my nipples. That prevented, I did not have any cracking where I bled. With VJ, I bled when I breastfed. So keep your nipples lubricated to prevent cracking, or even when you have your nursing pads on, you don't want the nipple to get dry and stick, and then every time you take it off, it peels, a scab off, because it will get like a little scabby, but this will help. You can get it from Walmart or your local stores. They should have it. That is tip number 3. So my 4th tip is, when you have, one thing about me, breastfeeding, I have semi-flat. My nipples are flat, not inverted, but they're flat. So it was harder for, if your baby, newborn, have a small mouth to open wide, and my areola is wide, you want to have the baby open as wide as you can when you have them latch on. Don't let them just nip around and open a little bit, because it's going to pinch, and it'll look like, how you have lipstick and how it's shaped, like the lipstick is shaped. I'll insert a picture of what I'm talking about, the lipstick. This picture, I'm going to cut it out. Anyways, when the baby latch on, and when you unlatch the baby off the breast, I want to show you a picture. If your nipples are like that, that means they're latching on wrong, and it's going to hurt. It's going to be very painful. So you want to make sure they get a deep and big, a mouthful of the breast, the nipple, and the areola. So you want to get as much of the areola inside of their mouth. That way, when they're squeezing, the sucking motion is going to help pull the milk out. You don't want them to have a shallow latch. Shallow latch is going to make your nipples be shaped like a lipstick, and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to insert a picture. If they're shaped like this, that means they're not latching deep enough. You want them to latch deeper. And my 5th tip for breastfeeding and surviving is, you need a good support system. You need a good support system. So you need someone that's going to help encourage you to not give up, because I promise you, the first couple of days, the first day is not as bad. That second day, it starts to, get a little sore. But by that 3rd day, when you're going home from the hospital, that day is 3rd day all the way up until, I think, 2 weeks. If you make it 2 weeks, it's a good chance you're going to make it to the month. But this time, like I say, with VJ, I had to supplement with formula, and I was very, very emotional. I actually cried. My husband laughed at me because he didn't understand it. I got so emotional because I thought VJ was going to be the last baby, and I just wanted to breastfeed my baby. I wanted to breastfeed. I didn't want to give any formula. It was just something that I had placed in my head, what I wanted to do, and I felt like I was failing when I had supplement with formula. But I was able to breastfeed baby VJ all the way up until he rejected it, and I found out later that he rejected it because once you're pregnant, the lactation specialist told me that once you're pregnant, your milk will turn, the flavor will turn from sweet to almost like the oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart. The milk when you first have the baby, that what is it called? Oh my gosh, before the milk drop down, like before you get fully, I just had a brain fart. What it's called? The first milk that they have that the baby get that helps.
I'm talking about colostrum, liquid gold.
Oh my God. Anyways, the taste changed. Anyway, I'm going to. Once I got pregnant, the taste of my milk changed. The consistency of it changed. Baby VJ did not want it. So that should have been a sign for me that I was pregnant, but it wasn't a telltale sign for me. But anyway, so I hope these tips help you. If you have any questions, you can ask down below. I'll try to get to all the questions if you have any questions. And I have more tips on breastfeeding because I plan on breastfeeding solely full. I don't want to give the baby a bottle at all until it's time for me to go back to work, which I'll probably, that week before I go back to work, I'll probably put Xander, try him out with some of the breast milk in a bottle to see how he latches and do it, because he's probably going to give my mom a hard time, and he's going to be a titty, what you call a titty baby, because that's all he has is his boobs. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Click the notification bell, because I am uploading more videos, or more consistent videos. I want to try to upload Monday through Friday through the weeks. Okay, so be blessed. Bye-bye.